Bienvenidos! Welcome everybody! What is the best way to learn Spanish? In this video, I'm gonna give you my take on that. There are many ways to learn Spanish, but here's a quick guide that can help you get started or can help you get unstuck if you're feeling a little stuck. My first recommendation is for you to learn about the differences between English and Spanish. That will give you a sense of what you can expect while learning Spanish. There are some main differences. One of the biggest one is the conjugation of verbs. I already have a video with the main differences and I'm gonna leave you the link on the description. But if you're starting to learn Spanish, that's where I would start. And that's really not learning any vocabulary, that's just learning the differences, right? So it shouldn't take you that long to view that video. For the actual learning, I would start with polite words like thank you, gracias, you're welcome, de nada, excuse me, con permiso, please, por favor. Those are the words that we use every day. If I already have a video for these topics, I will leave you the link on the description. There are other words like lo siento, I'm sorry, perdón, it also means excuse me, and things like that. And it doesn't have to be very long. You don't need to learn every single one of them. Just focus on the main ones. So once you learn the polite words, move on to greetings and farewells. So hola, hello or hi, adios, goodbye or bye, buenos días, good morning, buenas tardes, good afternoon, buenas noches, good evening or good night, hasta mañana, see you tomorrow, hasta pronto, see you soon, things like that. Again, it's something that you're going to use every day, so it's important that you learn the main ones. Greetings and farewells can also cover how are you? ¿Cómo estás? How are you feeling? ¿Cómo te sientes? Once you learn those, move on to personal information. What do I mean with personal information? ¿Cómo te llamas? What's your name? ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? ¿Cuántos años tienes? How old are you? And there are a few other questions about you or somebody else that you might want to share when meeting someone. All right, the next thing is to learn pre-learn phrases about you not knowing Spanish fully, so still learning Spanish. For example, estoy aprendiendo español. I'm learning Spanish. ¿Podría repetir eso, por favor? Can you repeat that, please? ¿Podría hablar más despacio? Can you speak slower? Or it could also be necesito ayuda. I need help. ¿Podría ayudarme? Could you help me? Things like that will set the tone or the mood of the conversation, because if the other person knows that you're still learning Spanish, they will speak slower, they will try to help you, and that will make it so much better for you and them. Okay, so next we move on to actual verbs. And I would say the first 20 or 30 verbs that are most used. My suggestion is for you to learn the present tense for the first person. So estoy or soy for the verb to be, como, I eat, tengo, I have, quiero, I want, necesito, I need. So focus on the most common verbs in the first person, in present. Now, if you have more time and more capacity to learn them, I would also learn them in the past and future tenses, but just for the first person. You can also learn the personal pronouns, although you don't necessarily have to at the beginning, because when we're conjugating the verbs in Spanish, we already know who the pronoun is or the person is, but it's up to you. So at this time, you can also add the personal pronoun and the verb conjugation for that. All right, the next thing would be to learn common nouns. La casa, the house, el carro, the car, el perro, the dog, el gato, the cat. The thing with nouns here is that they all have gender, right? And you also need to learn the articles. Va can mean el, la, los, las. And then you have to use them with the nouns based on gender and plurality. So don't get stuck on that. Just try your best. You can use a dictionary to help with that, but focus on the common ones. Focus on the nouns that are around you that you use on a daily basis in English. So for example, you should be able to say, tengo un perro, I have a dog, or tengo un gato. Also, hambre is hunger, or sed is thirst. Tengo hambre, I'm hungry. or it technically means I have hunger, but in Spanish we use tengo hambre. Tengo sed. I'm thirsty. Those are important things to learn. So once you learn the common verbs, start mixing and matching with the nouns so that you can start creating sentences. The next thing to learn is common adjectives. So here, the colors, the moods, adjectives describing people or things. Alto or alta is tall. So again, we see that adjectives also have gender and plurality. So tall could be alto, alta, altos, altas. 4 words. That's why focus on the common ones. Grande is big. Grande can be used for both feminine and masculine, and you'll see that happening with other words. You can also learn the colors here, but the main ones. Don't go and try to learn every single thing. Caliente, hot, frío, cold, things like that. The next thing is common questions. For example, ¿en dónde está el baño? Where's the bathroom? Hopefully, when you learn nouns, you also learn like the hospital or the store, the police, things that will help you if you have an emergency. So, ¿dónde está? Where is? ¿Dónde está el baño? ¿Dónde está la policía? Where is the police? ¿Dónde está el hospital? Where's the hospital? ¿Dónde está la tienda? Where's the store? ¿Tienes hambre? Are you hungry? ¿Tienes sed? Are you thirsty? Here, I will also learn the verb conjugations for the second person in both informal and formal. So, ¿tienes hambre? Is for the informal you. Tienes. Tiene hambre is for the formal you. So the informal you will use with people your own age or with little kids. The formal you with people older or a professional like a policeman or a doctor. If it's easier, you could just learn the conjugation for the formal you. That will get you through everywhere and it's more polite. And the reason why you need to learn it is because when you're asking a question, it's usually to somebody else, right? So you need to add to your vocabulary here as well. The next thing is to learn the numbers from 1 through 100. Numbers are super important in every language, from how old are you to what time is it, how much does this cost. You'll need to be able to understand the price or the age or the time, and you'll need to be able to say it as well. So learn the numbers. Numbers are super important. And then once you get through all of these topics in a basic way, you don't need to learn every single verb or every single noun. Just learn the common ones. But once you get past through, after the numbers, start learning more vocabulary. The days, the months, weather, family, food, things that you use on a daily basis. But you can also start listening or watching things in Spanish. Once you learn the basics, you'll be able to pick up on conversations and you'll be able to understand what they're trying to say. And make it a goal to actually go out and use the vocabulary. So go to your nearest Spanish-speaking store and greet the cashier. Talk to them in Spanish. And if it gets hard, use your pre-learned phrases so that they'll help you as well. I have 2 more tips. One is to learn about sentence structures. Spanish is more flexible than English, but there are some structures that can help you. We have the subject, verb, object structure as well. But just learn a little bit more about sentence structure, how to say yes, how to say no, and that will help you. And then the second tip is to learn about the Spanish syllables. Spanish is a phonetic language. So really, once you learn the alphabet and you start making the syllables, you can start reading in Spanish. If you're having a tough time learning how to say something in Spanish, this is the way to go. I already have like a 30-day course on my channel going through the syllables and examples. So that can help you. And that will make it so much easier to read Spanish, even if you don't understand the word, because once you learn the syllables and how they sound, you'll be able to read it and say it. So I'll leave you the link to that playlist. And I will leave you with this video to keep learning Spanish. Muchas gracias.